stayed up on my screen was like
No, I see us.
Microsoft Edge.
I think we're back.
I mean, I started us again, so hopefully.
Oh wait, no, yeah, we need a
we'll
new
see.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, damn. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, but so yeah, we were talking about Wonder Egg priority.
All right, we're
guys,
back.
You guys.
We're not back.
Yeah,
but...
hold on. Need to do the pop out. There we go. I need to.
I see you.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Nah, you'll be there soon.
Okay. Let me
There we go.
stuff.
All right.
Damn it, Chinn.
Oh, Burnsy got the influencer badge for Anime NYC.
Yo, Mr. TikTok. I guess you were right.
Told you.
You were right, Mr. TikTok.
Mr. TikTok.
Told you.
Um.
Oh wait, a bunch of people. Hold on, let me fucking check my email.
Yo. There we go. Part two is up. And better frame rate. Pay my internet bill. It's not even my internet. I don't know what. I think again. I was telling what's it called? I was telling Daddy. I think it's my CPU. I think I need to get a new CPU because I think it's throttling like everything because it's an older version, and it's trying to run the new graphics card and a bunch of hard drives. So new CPU coming. But yeah. So Wonder Egg priority, just a letdown. I remember we were all like super hype about it in the Discord. We were all like, yo, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And then like once it got to like episode 10 and they started introducing new shit and we were like, we only have 2 episodes left. How are they going to elaborate on this villain that we just met 10 episodes into the 12 episode series? It was just you had to run a bunch of virus scans for it. Interesting. Maybe I'll try to do that after. I mean, I don't even go on like crazy sites on this one. But yeah.
Okay, so he says.
Yeah.
Incognito mode's not gonna save you here, Chinn.
Hey, I mean, you can check, all right? check the log. But yeah, like I remember as soon as I saw that and saw that there was only 2 episodes left, I was like, nah, like this can't be a 10 out of 10. I'm like they're gonna rush through it, and then they didn't even rush through it, and they just ended it, and then the OVA came out, didn't even watch that, and then it's sitting hot on my anime list at like a 7, I think, for me. I wish it was higher. I
think I have it at an 8 still, maybe. But yeah, it was definitely out of 10, and then the special just left a bad taste in my mouth. I had to lower the ranking of the show.
Yeah. All right.
But
on to the next one.
On to the next.
Oh man, me and you can talk about this one. This show. The Price of Smiles.
I've never heard of this.
So this show started off with such a good, like a nice concept where, obviously us right now, like it was a relatable concept. It was something that like, obviously we're living comfortably. We're able to, wake up every day, go to work, do our work, watch anime, like live a comfortable life. And this show touched upon like in this world, what did it cost for the people living in this country, to be able to wake up and live comfortably every single day. And then you see it where like the one of the best friends of the princess gets offed in like the first like 2 episodes, and you're like, oh my gosh. And it's like he got offed, and you thought that like the way that it was going, that he was going to be saved somehow, because obviously it's anime. It's like, okay, there's no way he can die, but he literally just like dies, and it's like, hey, yeah, the reason why you're able to live so comfortably is because these people are fighting for like, fighting for your country, fighting against the threats and keeping you safe, and that's the reason, that is the quote unquote price that you have to pay to be able to smile. And it started. That's a very Game of Thrones start. Like, yeah. Once that happened, I was like, oh shit, anybody can get it in this show. Okay. Yep. I was like, all right, that. Yeah. And then the other fact was that there was like a little side story of like this the character on the right here, where you find out that like, you know, when she was a child, her, you know, she got separated from her parents. She thought that her parents died. Her parents thought that she died. And then it comes to towards the end, where this is why the end was so bad, was because you find out that so she the one in like the black and blue costume infiltrates the head like council room control center of like this almighty weapon, and is just like has this woman at gunpoint and is like, hey, like, tell me where everything is right now or else I'm gonna kill you. And then she kills her anyway, and then it flashes back to, oh shit, the person that she just killed was the mom that she thought died, and the mom had discovered like, oh, you're my daughter, and that's why she didn't act upon anything. So you're still like, oh shit, like this is kind of good. Like that was kind of crazy that they made her kill her own mom.
It was still lit.
and then at the very end, the two of them come together, the princess of the country and the leader of the resistance, and are just like, you know what? Let's push this button. And then they push the button, and then every single weapon in the entire world gets nullified, and you can't fight anymore because they pushed the button.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, yeah, all this shit that we went through for the past however many years, and all the people that have died, like, fuck it, it doesn't really matter.
Whatever, we don't have weapons anymore.
It. Like the way it ended, I literally remember sitting there and being like, that's it. Like that is it.
Like you know the visual of like when the power, like a power grid, like if I don't know, like a power grid in a movie goes out, and then you see from the center all the electricity just goes like that and turn off. That's what it was. It was like fighting and weapons, and you're like, that's crazy that they had such a weapon. It's literally like the person who installed like the oh man, there's one spot in the Death Star in Star Wars, like if you shoot it, the entire thing blows up, so don't shoot it. And it's like, why would you even design that little hole there? And it's like, well, it's there, so you know,
that's funny as hell.
It's terrible. But, I think
the show had, like Chinn said, the show had potential. Like literally, there were characters just getting like offed left and right. Characters that you were like, nah, no way that person's dead. Like, nah, like typical anime. Like they're gonna.
No way, the best friend of the princess dies in the first episode.
And then the next episode starts with him in a casket, and you're like, oh. Shit.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh. And like people, and again, like people were getting like literally shot in the head, like blood everywhere. So it was a cool watch too, and then it just wasn't. So.
Yep.
All right, next. So this one is actually like, again, like not a good ending, and there's like a half asterisk like cultural difference type thing, but at the same time like not a good ending, because like you
can't there's no way you can slice it where it makes you feel comfortable.
unless you live in Japan, that's what you're about,
bro. I don't care about the asterisk. He had Goto-san, who was like,
that's true. I cups,
the
baby.
Baddest baddie in the whole office, and bro said, nah, I'm gonna wait till this high school chick grows up a couple more years, and then I'm gonna hit that. Like, come on, bro. And the show started out so good.
It was because it was like, because again, this show came out at the same time as that other one that was like the dude who was like stalking the chick that you were like, nah, don't watch that one. So we were like, yo, this one's so wholesome. And the entire time that we're watching this show, we're like, yo, this is going to be great because he's not going to go for it. Like, his willpower is there. He has Goto. Like, you know, he's a good guy. And especially from like our American standards, we were like, yeah, like, you know, you definitely cannot do that, dude. Like, that's crazy. Like, you are way older than her. She is still in high school, blah, blah, blah. And then like towards the end, and then he's just like, nah, never mind. The entire show, fuck it. I'm down bad. And you're like, no, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
there's no way to like even. Okay, John,
my bad. I think in the back of our heads, all of us were kind of like, just don't get creepy. Like, don't go the creepy route. Just don't go creepy. And it went so long without doing it that we were all like, okay, it's not gonna go the creepy route. And then it was like the very last episode or second to last episode. It was like
this close.
Yeah, it was second to last episode. I was like, and then the last episode was like confirmed, and I was like, oh no, like oh no.
Yeah, there's literally no way to make it feel or seem wholesome with an ending like that. Like, sure, like there's no lewdness or there's no like fan service, but the fact that you have that kind of ending where this grown ass man still ends up with this this girl, even though he waited, but still, that's still very, you know, what's the word? Like, it's not predatory, but like grooming. Yeah, really, it's literally what it is. So, and even if it wasn't, it's the fact that like I don't know. It's how does anyone watching that not feel weird with that age gap?
And,
you know,
and it was the thing that like bothered us the most, because like obviously like when you're older and you're like adults, if for whatever reason and you're like 40 years old and you want to date somebody who's like 30 and they're down for it, you're just like, all right, like whatever, like that's you. But then like this dude knew her when she was in high school, the entire time was protecting her, being a father figure for her, as she was talking about, trigger warning, her like sexual assault cases and how she was using her like assets, her body, to be able to like stay different places, and how this one dude treated her so badly, and then like our homeboy was like, no, you know what, like I'm not gonna do that, like I'm different from them. You were up until the last episode, and then when she came back and said, hey, guess what, I'm not 18 anymore, I'm 19, you're like, all right, whatever.
He says she.
Yeah, he's like she, and start. Yeah, it was just like this. It had so much potential, and I get it. Like it's like that weird cultural thing, because you see it all the time in anime where like the the Japanese like high schooler who's like just 17 is now engaged to somebody, and that's okay because like that's okay in their culture because of, you know, how it's run. But us being here, consuming it in America, being used to American standards, and, you know, having the knowledge that we do about how like maturity works, it ain't working like that in this anime. So, all right, moving on. Don't, you know, eat your hero.
Don't watch. Don't even entertain watching this show.
I'll just say, I think if the show had gone the not creepy route and just like ended up with him with Goto-san or whatever, I probably would have given it like a 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8.5 or 9. I think it's at like a 4 or 5 for me.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Next.
This one on the list is like not as bad as the others, but
no, this one's more just a pacing issue.
Yeah,
just the ending.
I forgot about this show. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Did this come out around the same time as the other show?
This show.
No, I think it came out a
season or two before.
Yeah,
or before. Yeah,
either before or after one of them. But Sing yesterday for me, all adult characters besides the kid on the left hand side. And this is another romance show. Adults living their lives, rediscovering themselves, rediscovering friendships, all these things.
Yeah.
Was a very good show. The characters developed in just like a real way.
Yeah.
And everything seemed authentic and realistic. And then I think it was the last episode. It was like, again, they were like, oh fuck, we only have 12 episodes and we just did episode 11 and we have this much stuff we have to cover. And they're like, well, all right, let's do it.
Yep. Well, we're just gonna let them go.
So I ended up, as soon as the season ended, I actually read the manga and realized that there's a whole character missing from the show that was not in the show at all. That made like a love triangle thing, and yeah, there was a whole character not in the show, but the manga ending was very good. But yeah, this one was more so it was just rushed. Like you could tell the ending was rushed.
Yeah, it was
like
literally,
they didn't properly figure it out in the beginning. Like, all right, we're gonna adapt these chapters here in this episode, these chapters in this episode, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I just remember being like, yo, like this dude, he wants to like try so hard to be with like the older woman, obviously, and then the girl with the crow was like, hey, like
Haru?
yeah, like I'm about to be here for you. And then the dude, the brother, right? It was like the brother of the teacher, or the brother of the dude or the girl that he's pursuing was just like, I actually like so and so more. And you're like, wait, whoa, what the hell? And then there was like this whole like love square, but then it wasn't, and then it was a triangle. And then the last episode they were like, you know what, Haru and the main characters getting together, it's fine.
Yep.
And she's like, it's because I like you. And you're like, okay. Like,
yep. I mean, Haru was best girl, but like,
yeah,
come on, I need something.
yeah, it was very rushed, like the way that, because like they spent the entire series developing the whole like, oh, he really wants his childhood friend, but Haru is not going to outright say that she likes him, but is clearly exhibiting like attraction to him. And it was just like, that was it. And then just boom.
Did he
just like that?
He dated the older woman in the past, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think they were
in high school or some college or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still wanted her. She was kind of indifferent towards it, but then he started to like get indifferent, and she was like, "Oh shit, maybe I do like him," and then it was too late.
Yeah.
And it ended with her just being like, "Yeah, I'm not like." She just wasn't. She like just didn't want to be in a relationship.
Because like she had a previous boyfriend or something that died, right? Like, it. Oh, no, I remember.
Oh, it was the kid's brother.
Yeah, it was the kid's older brother. It was the kid's older brother that she was in a relationship with. Then he died, and then she was like, I can't be with anybody, but then like started seeing, like, he wanted to be with her, but he couldn't.
He tried to use the dude or she was like almost using the dude as like a comfort, like a
and then like the kid's younger brother was like, no, like actually I can be just like my older brother.
Yeah.
And like this was just terribly paced at the very end. It was nice at the beginning and then terribly paced at the end. So it wasn't like it just went to shit, because you still get the outcome that you wanted. It's just you got there way faster than you thought you were gonna get there. Yep. All right, next. I haven't watched this one, so I know it. I know what happens.
I wish if Pete's still around, I would love to see him rip it apart in the comments. But I'm gonna go through this one quick because it was just so disappointing. So Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it, was a rom-com about these college students in their graduate school program, science program, and the whole thing was they wanted to see if you could prove love through science, if there's a scientific formula or something to prove love. So that is what the show is. The entirety of the show is them conducting silly experiments to find out what true love is, if you can even calculate love in that way. Mm-hmm. So the first season was hilarious. Funny, sweet, just romantic comedy. Just typical anime romantic comedy.
Yeah.
The second season started off that way, and then with like 5 episodes left in the season, 5 or 6 episodes, it started to focus to one character who's like the main girl, not this girl here, but like the main girl, I guess. Yeah. And it started to focus on her, and her whole thing was like, she had this inner trauma of like, she can't accept love. She doesn't think she's capable of loving anybody. She doesn't think she deserves love. So I was like, all right, really interesting. But then it gets into this like, she feels this way because basically she had someone stalking her, and basically somebody that made her feel like she was not worth love.
Yeah.
So it got away from this like fun show, which like whatever, okay, exploring one of the main characters, that's fine. But then it just went this like sexual assault, sexual harassment, almost rapey vibes in the show out of nowhere, like so uncalled for. And the way I'm just gonna say it because don't watch it. The dude with the glasses, he like busts into a room when this chick is literally like tied up and they're about to do whatever they want with her. He busts into a room and he's like doing scientific equations on the board. He's like, and this is why love, da da da, like, and they almost like made a joke out of the whole thing. And I was like, I was so disgusted after I watched it. I was like, oh, like I won't even. It's like set up for a 3rd season, but I was like, I probably won't even watch the 3rd season now.
Yeah.
It was like I just hated the way it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, the when you guys told me about the ending, I didn't even bother to watch it because that is something I definitely would have wanted to see anyways, even though I did enjoy the first season.
Yep. So yeah, saying it's like a Promised Neverland. There's only one season.
That's how a lot of anime is. It's crazy. All right, moving on to the next one. So Ahiru no Sora. So Kumar and I watched this one. I don't know if you watched. You didn't watch this one, right, Chris?
Nope.
All right. So this one, the reason I have this up here, why it's like it started off like kind of hot and then ended poorly, is because like, I mean, Kumar can tell you, like, they were literally like, hey, like, let's get a bunch of losers together, and it's like, let's get that whole like underdog story like building up for them to finally get a win, and they don't win, and it's a 50 episode series.
It was excruciatingly painful.
That's why I refuse to watch this show, because I remember you saying that, and I was like, yep, take it off the list.
It's 50 episodes of them just losing. Like, it would have been one thing, again, everybody loves the whole underdog story when it comes to sports. That's exactly what this gave you. They were learning how to play basketball. Kid's undersized, so he had to learn how to shoot. And then when he gets tired, he has to shoot with both hands, and people make fun of him because... got conscious here. Yeah. But then like he was like, oh, but you know, like my mother was like a world-renowned shooter, and people used to make fun of me because I would shoot like a girl, but I'm going to shoot like a girl, which was also kind of fucked that they said that, like, oh, by the way, if you're a female and you shoot with two hands, like this, rather than like normal. Like they made it weird as if like you can't shoot normally if you were female in this show. Yeah. And then again, 50 episodes for them to not win.
I didn't mind the games because obviously when you have like your main character have, you know, the stigma, you're short, so you're not good at basketball, but, you know, giving the caveat of being an incredible shooter and having good basketball IQ, and pairing up with the rest of his team where the majority of his team are fairly new to basketball, except for the dude with the afro, the dude with the cornrow, like the pseudo AI cornrows, and the blonde-haired, the degenerate-looking guy.
Yeah.
The rest of the team they had no clue about basketball, so obviously trying to teach basketball to people who don't know a thing about basketball, whether it's the mechanics, like some plays that are designed for like running on a court, things of that nature. That's like, you know, what some episodes are for, to get the audience engaged with like learning the game of basketball. But I think with a show like this, if you don't give them obvious growth and progression to get good, then like who wants to see a team lose that much or like not be good for that long,
for
especially when you're
episodes.
Yeah, for 50 episodes. And like they had like highlights where they were getting like, you know, some plays down packed or like whatever, but for the most part, unlike other sports animes, the rest of this team, aside from like the people on the starting five, everyone's there's no reason to even have them be in the show. That's how bad they are, and that's how much they don't add to the story or like the plot or the character plot progression. To me personally, because
that's gonna be a no for me, dog.
I was gonna say this team has the current depth of the current LA Lakers. Sorry.
Yeah, we are trash.
I was gonna say, was it Rob Pelinka is the GM?
Yeah,
that man must have been smoking that papaya all off season. But all right, we going on to the next one. So this one, Kumar, did you watch B the beginning?
I think I started. I don't think I ever finished it. I was enjoying it though, but I don't think I finished it.
Yeah,
I think I watched the first
first season.
Episodes?
Oh. First season was really good.
There's 2 seasons?
Yep. That's why I have it up here.
Oh, okay.
Because the second season was like what, 5 episodes?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
I think it was 6.
Oh, yeah, it was like 6 episodes that didn't add anything. Like it introduced like, so you find out at the end of the first season, you find out that it's like his best friend that he got the arm from is actually still alive. And that he's been kind of like pulling the strings from the shadows. And in the second season, you get to see them meet. And it's 6 episodes of like him dealing with a bunch of side characters just for him to be just for somebody else to be introduced to his best friend that lost an arm, that they want to like take back his weapon or something like that. I don't know. It was weird. It was forgettable. Yeah. Like it was just
the first season was dope. First season was really cool. The fights, like the fight animation, was sick.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is it worth it alone for me to still watch it off that strength, Chili?
If you finish the first season,
watch season 1, definitely.
Watch season 1 and then don't even care about the end. Like just
don't even really focus on the story, honestly. Like just watch the fight animation. Like the fight animation's dope, but
I loved the whole thing with like how like this like the detective is like he's kind of like brooding and like mad, but like he'll kind of do his job anyway, but he has his own past traumas, and then he somehow relates to this whole like investigation. But yeah, second season just doesn't exist. That's the running theme. Second season doesn't exist.
Yep.
All right, next.
Chinn basically nailed it.
Yeah, you guys talk about this one.
Skate.
10 out of 10 according to Pari. Just saying.
No, I think she debunked herself in the last stream we did.
Yeah, this show. It started off really fun. It was a really fun show. Was just looking forward to some sick skateboarding shit. And the first couple episodes was like, all right, this is sweet. Obviously, it kind of went off the rails with dudes like flying down a mountain at 75 miles an hour.
It was Tokyo Drift. It was fucking
planking
Tokyo
on
Drift
boards and then jumping off of cliffs after they just planked on the board and going straight back into a plank. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what
that part
in my skateboarding anime.
That part didn't really bother me. What bothered me is, well, first off, there's this whole plot of a detective. Detective is like keeping track of all these secret skateboarding races or whatever. Like there's this whole subplot.
Wild.
And then we get to the end of the show, and it's like the detective didn't even matter at all.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened with it, which is bullshit because Adam's bitch ass, Hisoka 2.0, was out here smacking dudes in the face with his skateboard.
And run away from the cops.
And nobody called the cops. Nobody was like, yo, I know we take this shit seriously, but like that was a little far, my guy. Yeah. They were just like, there goes Adam. Like, what? What do you mean there goes Adam? He's out here trying to kill people with a skateboard. Like,
I know you just skateboarded up a hill, but
the whole detective aspect too was for something entirely like an entirely different plot point to Adam's character that we don't even really get. Like,
didn't
more
they like
in-depth
fall in love at the end or something like that? Like the detective was actually like, hey, I felt like somebody fell in love with Adam at the end of the show and was like they were kind of important.
Well, I think the detective ended up like dropping the case or something. Like it was something weird that like, wow, this detective like, oh shit, there's some undercover, I don't know, money laundering or something going on here. And then it was just like, I'm pretty sure she just dropped the case. And it was like, what the fuck?
Regardless, I'm just really curious as to why they even had that to begin with in the show. Like literally just don't make Adam
done with it.
Yeah, why did that have to be anything?
That was like their backup to try to potentially make it like 2 seasons because they're it is getting a second season now. Wasn't it announced like before like all
I
the
thought
fall
it was a
stuff?
movie. Was it a movie?
Oh, maybe a movie.
Season?
Oh, I don't know.
I remember on
I don't know
Twitter
about a second season, but
I remember on Twitter people were going crazy because they're like, yes, like more skate, and like it took everything in my soul to like not just like tweets them to be like, why do you want garbage? And like it's it's like all the people they love like shipping Reki and Langa, so it's like, I ain't trying to come off a type of way, I'm all for it, but at the same time. Oh shit! I thought y'all were frozen because you guys both.
I was writing something down.
Y'all both did not move.
I have nothing else to say about it.
No, yeah. I don't know if you guys felt the same way about it. I think what turned me off to this show towards the end was, or like whenever it was the episode where Reki started getting really, really emo about himself.
I was gonna say when he got depressed.
Yeah.
When he got depressed, it was just like.
Don't get me wrong. Like whenever I see this show talked about on social media, TikTok, whatever, like people are just like, oh, I kid Reki, like I get what he's meaning, but just like, do you really though?
Yeah.
Dude, like, to the point where you're gonna just not communicate with the person, like your best friend, like you're literally just gonna like avoid them and
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it does get like that. I could be talking like out of turn here, but I feel like they were emphasizing so much on Reki that it just took away from the whole premise of the show. Like,
well, he got depressed because Adam was more into Langa because Langa was like a better skateboarder than him, right? Like that was the whole thing. Like,
and I think he just saw like how fast Langa came up in the scene and like how naturally talented he was at skateboarding because he was a snowboarder. But I don't know, like, and it could be they were trying to break a stereotype, a trope, like with most other anime, your main character, if Reki is the main character,
like the better one.
Or just in general, like if Reki is our stereotypical MC, he's gonna be like he's gonna use Langa as fuel to get better. Whereas here, Reki saw Langa getting better, and he just
Goob, what's up?
He shut down. Oh, what's up, Goob? In the chat, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all Cherry and Joe though. Yeah, say less.
Yeah, Cherry and Joe were the better characters in the show. All right, moving on. So, the original Bleach. The reason I put this here, I know a lot of people don't like Bleach, all right? I get it. But the original Bleach, the reason why I say it was hot and then it ended poorly is because it literally was hot. It was the big three, one of the big three, and then it just ended. They just decided to say, yo, guess what? Like, the anime, cutting it off before the second best arc. Like, or the second, third best arc, whatever. Like, Hueco Mundo, Soul Society, and then you have 1,000-Year Blood War arc. But they literally decided, like, hey, guess what? We are just going to end the show on the potentially worst arc that they have, aside from filler. There's Pete.
You start talking shonen.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But yeah, so literally, like this show, obviously the show again, Pete. Aside from what you say, this show had a huge, massive following back in the early 2000s. Back when people think anime, it's literally only Toonami shows, like. It's what it is, and then it ended poorly because they ended on the Fullbringer arc, which they sucked. So but yeah, and they ended before it actually ended. So yeah, and that's why they had to bring it back 10 years later because they're like, fuck, we need to redeem ourselves. All right, let's give it crispy animation, and maybe we'll get the redemption.
When did they? Also, I was very curious about this. Why did they? Did Tite Kubo's style change, or what was the art direction for when it started looking better, like even back then? Because was it like
when it started looking better?
Like that?
No, the first couple seasons, obviously it was early on it was typical late 90s, early 2000s animation style where people weren't really that detailed, and then just Hueco Mundo really picked up because it was a lot of white and black, so they were able to stay really, really true to the manga style, the manga art. So it was like that. So the animation really upped there, and then it was just
it's crazy seeing Ichigo here and then seeing him and
oh yeah
the episodes later on in Bleach, and it's night and day just how they look.
Yeah, well. It was at the end of the Soul Society arc. That's when the animation, they were you know what? We don't really have that great of a story, so let's make it look nice. We're gonna make it look visually appealing, and then just filler caught up for whatever reason. Studio Pierrot decided we're gonna skip the entire first arc in the manga and just condense it down to 4 episodes and really get to it, and then because they did that,
Studio Pierrot gotta stop taking their liberties with shit.
Studio Pierrot gotta stop doing that. Cloverworks gotta stop doing
Bro, I'm telling if because obviously Studio Pierrot, this is off topic, but obviously Pierrot they did Bleach, they did Tokyo Ghoul, yada yada. But if they gave Tokyo Ghoul the treatment that Bleach is getting right now with the animation, and they actually followed this story, bro, I'm telling you, Tokyo Ghoul would be literally a top 10 anime of all time.
Yeah.
Like, if it followed the manga, like, word for word, oh my god.
You say censored? Goob says that it's censored Goob. I mean, you could say what you want. Like, I have the stream set for not for children, so.
Just whatever.
But yeah, like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe because it has government name. Yeah. Yeah, they just added that. They added YouTube handles. You can change your name on YouTube now. But yeah, like, I don't know. The first season of the first part of Bleach ended poorly because they chose the worst arc to end on. Just to like, and they gave it like this like makeshift ending too, where Ichigo was like, "Well, I have my powers back. Time to go back to being like a Soul Reaper," and you're like, "Nice."
Nice.
Like,
I haven't even seen all of Bleach yet, and I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like okay, like cool, like it's basically if like Naruto or like Luffy were just like, hey, guess what? Like we are like I'm a pirate and I'm a ninja. I'm gonna stay that way, and it's like, cool, nice, bro, like sick. But yeah, this next, I mean, 1,000-Year Blood War, obviously, people rate it highly for a reason. Hell Arc 2. Apparently, it's 52 episodes, and then there's like OVAs coming out. There's Hell Arc going to potentially be animated, so it's nice.
Okay.
All right.
Jump right now, huh?
This is all you, Chinn.
Fuka. So this one was like a music anime slice of life that like really captured my attention because I really liked the songs in it. And it started off really, really nice. They put together a band. They had their own like whatever, like past traumas, whatever. And then it just ends differently than the manga. So it ends with them actually being a band and like not going their separate ways. Cause like this, I think the whole like theme of the anime is that like, you can go and do your own thing, I guess. I don't really know, but it was very enjoyable up until like the last episode, and then she was like pseudo supposed to die, and that's where like the bandmates kind of discover themselves within the music and go off and become musicians on their own. But then in the anime they decided to make her not die, and they just stayed as a band. So it took away from.
Interesting.
You don't like the ending, Chinn? What's up?
It was a happy ending, but like the whole thing was that the band that they modeled themselves after went their own ways, and it turned out negative. And they were supposed to be like we can go our own ways and be successful too.
True.
But yeah, so I didn't like it. I looked it up at the end because I was like, what does the ending even mean? And they were like, well, in the manga she dies. She gets hit by a car, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh.
She gets hit by like she gets hit by a car on the way to the last their quote unquote like final show. Like how like Your Lie in April.
Out here catching bodies, bro.
What?
I said Truck-kun, stay out here catching bodies.
I thought you said say hi, and I was like, what?
I mean, say hi to catching bodies too.
Yeah. What is this? Is this Black Bullet?
Black Bullet. Yep.
Okay, I don't know what this is.
So
I think I only watched the first episode, and then I just didn't watch anything else after that.
This show was dope. Like, it started out sick. The action was awesome.
This is different from the show Darker Than Black, right?
Yes. Darker Than Black is also fire.
Okay, I wanted to clarify.
But yeah, the show started out really cool. This whole companionship, the villain was cool. Like, everything about the show was sick. Until literally the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
The last, like, it did the whole. I don't even.
Yeah, what's it like a comparison?
the last 3. I'm trying to think of one, but I can't even think of one off the top of my head. Imagine you were watching season 1 of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Just season 1 in its entirety.
Yep.
And then we were in the middle of season 4, part 1. Like, nothing else in between happened. It was just the beginning of all of season 1, and then the middle of the beginning of season 4. That's basically what happened in the show from like episode 1 through 9.
Yeah.
Amazing build up, awesome. And then the last 3 episodes, they're in a war out of nowhere, and then the war ends in like 1 episode, And then one of the characters that there's not even an inkling of this character having like mental issues or gonna turn sides or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like the last 10 minutes of the show. This character that was like a friend the whole time just suddenly is no longer a friend and just like turns to the dark side and is like, if you come searching for me, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And like it just went like so.
Say hi says Kagetane the goat.
Off a cliff and just like, no. It was disappointing.
That's what like the Promised Neverland did, like between season 1 and season 2, like where it's like, oh, there's a war, but you don't know why they're in a war, but you're going to get to the ending regardless, and you're like, yo, what is this?
Yeah, and no, Kagetane was cool, dope ass villain, but like,
is that the dude in the mask or like?
Yeah, dude with the mask, but like nothing was really done with him. Like, yeah. I don't even remember like how he ended, or like I don't remember. Like it just the show left such a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, "Fuck this, I'm done." Like
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had potential to be a really cool show, and it just dropped the ball.
Yeah. All right. Well, on to the final one. It was the latest edition. It was a Pari edition actually.
Are there two?
And Kumar edition.
What? No, are we leaving?
I forgot to add the picture for the last one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But Naruto Shippuden. So obviously Naruto started off hot. Naruto Shippuden also started off hot, and then it ends in a way that isn't as bad if Boruto doesn't exist. so obviously they added Kaguya being the actual main villain of everything, being the progenitor of chakra on this planet on Earth, making chakra fruit. You find out her mission, and that she wants to that like because she like fell in love. Yes, Pete. Yes. And because like she fell in love and like like wanted like didn't want to destroy the planet anymore. That's why she stayed there and then was betrayed. And that's all like fine, but then like through Boruto, obviously they needed storytelling, which the storytelling was fantastic the way that they did it, but if it never happened, it makes the end of Naruto Shippuden better, because then you find out that there's aliens that they basically went the Invincible route. So if you liked Invincible on Amazon, well, check yourself that if you hate on Naruto, because they do the same thing where it's like, hey, you know what? We're these villains, like we're these aliens that want to invade a planet, take over, and we just live forever, and we just want to keep getting stronger and stronger. And you're like, man, does that change the ending of Naruto? Like, you were ninjas fighting aliens, bro. Like, sick. So that's why it's on here. So,
again, lame ass villain at the end of the show.
Again, it was one of those that like if she wasn't an alien and she was just like a creature with the 10 tails, sure, like that, like it goes back to like ancient lore. This is like, hey, they're aliens, they're actually like future tech almost, and you're just like, nah, it doesn't have to be like that. Come on now.
Also, they didn't have to do our guy Madara that dirty.
Yeah, they made
very upset on that.
The whole last bit of it wasn't great.
They did make like it also sucked that like the last arc was like half filler but not filler, because it was technically like canon, because the whole like just showing you what you could have had type thing if you just go to the Infinite Tsukuyomi. Like they could have shown maybe one person, but they had to go through and show literally every single ninja that we've met throughout Naruto. They're like, hey, let's do one last hurrah. Let's show everybody in their perfect ideal lives if bad stuff didn't happen. And you're like, we don't need 80 episodes of that. You can do it in 4 and just say, hey, Naruto's Hokage, but he wants to be like legit Hokage.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's why Naruto's on here. All right. Exclamation point summon Pete.
Attack on Titan. This one obviously super controversial opinion, just as far as the
some
anime,
there's definitely
sphere goes. I personally am not the biggest fan of the ending.
Yeah.
But that is what it is. But yeah, the show starts out incredible. Like in one of the best first episodes in anime.
Gateway anime.
By far.
The gateway anime.
And season 1, fire. Season 2, fire. Season 3, part 1, fire.
I was gonna say season 3, part 1, the
season
biggest...
3, part 2, the biggest fire. Yeah. I think personally, I think that's the best part of the show.
That's the Kenny Levi joint.
Oh wait, can we get a Chinn Kenny once for the one time?
Yeah, that's like loud.
Go.
Kenny.
But yeah, Attack on Titan, friggin'.
You think that's the worst ending in manga history?
Even though I don't think the ending is great by any means, I still think the show overall is very, very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending, even people that didn't mind the ending, I think would still say it was underwhelming. The ending was like very, very, for me, it was very, 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 very underwhelming, to the point that I was almost like, a lot of this seems like it's kind of, oh shit, maybe left out a plot point here, or like there's a plot hole here, so we're going to cover it up with some like, oh, well, going back in time or fixing this memory or doing that. It was like, there was like too much stuff that I was like, I feel like some of this is a little bit of a cop-out.
Yeah. Yeah, you go, Kumar.
And granted, the anime isn't even over, but and I'm sure a lot of people are, I'm going to be speaking for myself, obviously, here. I'm starting to get really turned off to how they're dealing with the end of the show. Like,
yeah, just the ending of the anime itself. We talked about it when we shot with Rob. Like, remember, we were just like
how many parts is your final season going to be? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
You literally have 7 seasons now.
Let's be real here. Let's if you're going to advertise something, advertise it as is. Don't give us final season, but there are 20 parts to this final season. You know what I mean? Just name it season 4, and we'd be happy, or like we'd be able to bear and trudge along with the anime. But
yeah,
I mean, I still love the show, but like, yeah, the way they're dealing with ending it and is really just like making me want to just watch something else already. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired. I'm getting burnt out from Attack on Titan. As much as I think it did a lot for like anime culture, then bringing in new people and fandom and all that bullshit, but yeah, I'm so over Attack on Titan. It's kind of crazy.
Attack on Titan,
which is wild, because Isayama is about to be at Anime NYC.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the hardest. Like, it's gonna be the hardest panel to get into. So
by far.
Attack on Titan is the Call of Duty of anime. Everybody knows what it is. You're gonna watch it at some point. You're gonna play it at some point, and then you're gonna say, I don't want to watch it, but you're going to watch it anyway. Because you don't want to buy Call of Duty, but you're going to buy Call of Duty anyway, because somewhere down the line, you're going to just be tempted. Your friends are going to be like...
Call of Duty was such an interesting video game to pick for that.
That's... everybody knows... You say Call of Duty, there's not a single person that you're like, hey, do you know what Call of Duty is? And they're like, oh yeah, that game probably before Fortnite, right? And you're like, all right, yeah. But like, it's one of those games that you literally, like... If you grew up like watching the first season or whatever, playing an older Call of Duty, you can't just like watch a Call of Duty come out and be like, I'm not gonna get that shit, fuck that, whatever. Because then one of your friends are gonna be like, yo, bro, just play. It's only you can get it on sale for $30 now, and you're like, all right, fuck it, I guess I'll go play it, whatever. Like, I've sworn to not buy Call of Duty so many times and got fucking caught, like. And it's same thing with Daddy too. So Daddy, if you're here, he would agree. But yeah, I mean, I'm in that camp of like, I didn't think it was a terrible ending, but it was for sure rushed, and it was definitely the fault of the way that they produced it, because they wanted to end it perfectly on 139, I think. Right? Is that 139 chapters, was it?
I couldn't tell you.
But whatever chapter they ended on, they wanted to end it on that because that's the number that coincides with like end and beginning or something like that, and that's how, you know, Attack on Titan is with their whole like time travel. Like my end was my beginning, but it was also my end. Like it was like that. and they fucked themselves with that, because since they were like, okay, hard capping at 139, we need to get everything in. And there was like the one panel that we saw in 138 that we're just like, oh, okay, and then boom, nothing in between. You don't get any explanation, and then what we got for an ending. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those rushed. It was rushed.
The thing that bothers me too is that he ended up writing like another chapter as like a, like almost like a, didn't
like
he
a
end up
retcon type shit.
An extra chapter, like, oh, there's some details I left out by mistake.
Yeah.
Like here's another chapter. Like that is such a like a. I see that, I'm like, oh, come on.
My thing is like, if you were going to put out something that is your work of art, you stick by it. Like whatever the critics and whatever you know, the people who are consuming your product, giving you money, say, you stick by what you wrote. The fact that he came out after all the critiques of the final chapter and was like, oh guys, I know there's issues, like blah 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 blah, like, bro, don't be a bitch. Like just suck it up, stand by your art. Like if you think people went up to what like I don't know, like some old ass like artist and was like, yo bro, your art stinks, and then it's like, oh shit, you're right, let me like change it up, and that's what's in the fucking MoMA now or whatever. Like no, like like no, you stick by your shit. Yo, I was talking to this chick at Walgreens. She said there's another season of AOT. Is that true? Yes, it's the final. It's the final season.
It is season 4, part 3.
Yeah, season 4, part 3, which has the same amount of episodes. Has more episodes than a typical anime season.
Season 4, part 3.
Yeah.
Is it part 3 or is it season 4, the final season?
No, it's the final season.
Or the final part.
Final part of the final season. But yeah,
do they explicitly say final part? Because I swear to God, if they do not finish the show in this last part, I am not watching the end.
Which is,
I'm taking that score. I'm fucking taking
yes.
It was crazy too, because remember, like, we did a show whenever the final season was coming out, and they were like, oh yeah, final season, it's going to be 9 episodes or 13 episodes, and at that point we were like, that's a lot.
There's so much left to cover.
We're like, there's 103 chapters left to get through.
Well, that's when we were all thinking too. Like they're gonna do the season and then they're gonna end it with a movie.
A movie, yeah.
Because at this point, why not end it with a freaking movie? Because you're gonna make so much fucking money. I swear it's gonna be final season part 3. And then the ending is going to be
final movie.
I know. I feel it in my bones, because at this point they'd be dumb to not make it a movie because of how much money freaking Demon Slayer just made, the amount of money Jujutsu Kaisen made, the amount of money fucking Fruits Basket Prelude made. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Attack on Titan is known worldwide, probably on the same level as Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna make so much fucking money. The
so
show has
crazy.
been around forever. Demon Slayer's only been around for a couple of years, really. Attack on Titan has been around forever, basically, at this point. Like,
literally, like, it's just so crazy. Like, you're like going like from now on, you're not going to meet like Attack on Titan is not going to be phased out for like years and years and years. Like, Attack on Titan is going to be like you know, if you ask like a new anime watcher, you're like, yo, you know what like Cowboy Bebop or like Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho is, they're, you know, some of them might not know what that is. Like, some of them might literally know Dragon Ball Z from Fortnite,
yeah.
Attack on Titan is going to be that. Like, we're gonna be in like on our deathbeds and we'll be like, hey youngster, you know what Attack on Titan is? And they'd be like, yeah, I do. And you're like, fuck. Fuck, it's been out for over 90 years now, and people still know what it is.
It's been what's that meme? It's been 87 years.
It's been 84 years. The Titanic, yeah.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
But
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's one. That was our last of the shows that started.
Quick hitter, nice little quickie stream. You feel me?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I feel that.
You know, we got. What were you gonna say, Kumar? You said you need.
You need it sometimes, you know.
Hey.
Yeah, you know.
I can make these kind of jokes if someone isn't next to me to be embarrassed.
You know what I mean? You know, we split it into 2 parts because we couldn't last the first time, so we came back for a second round.
That's not a personal problem, Chinn.
That's not my personal problem. But yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in for another YouTube stream. VODs will be up. Daddy's gonna give me a quickie.
Next week, should we do first impressions of the season so far?
Yeah, I think it'll be at what, like 4 or 5 episodes in for every show. Almost?
And we should get we're gonna get the first episode of To Your Eternity this weekend. So
yeah.
And I think the last round of late shows, I think this weekend is when they all start. So
all right. Well, leading into the first impressions, give each of us give one anime that the chat should watch.
Wait, leading into the first impressions?
Like right now. Like what's the one anime that you think people should watch? You don't have to give a rhyme or reason. Just tell them.
You two go first.
Watch Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Okay.
All right, watch Gundam Witch from Mercury.
I thought that was gonna be your choice. So I didn't want to say it.
Hell yeah, I love
that. I once he posed that question, I was like, oh, Chinn's gonna pick the Gundam show.
Gundam Witch from Mercury. Watch it.
Why is that not in the description? That's a valid question.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be remiss to say that everyone should be checking out Chainsaw Man just because of how much hype was built up to the show. So I am watching it with no information on the manga. I haven't read the manga, so with fresh eyes and fresh ears, I am looking forward to see if the hype is real. I'm enjoying it so far. So Chainsaw Man, I think, is one that a lot of people are also tuning into.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna go ahead. No. I'll say. I
feel like I know.
Akiba Maid War.
Yep, knew it. That was my second choice. That show was fire.
I haven't started it yet, so I couldn't say it.
I'll say that one.
Yeah, that show is fire.
Just to get you people hyped. But yeah, that's all we got.
All right, everybody.
We'll see y'all in the Discord.
Yes. Peace out.
Until next time. Class is dismissed.
Saturday it is still good.